So here's every single LEGO Lightning McQueen ever released from 2011 to 2026. The only ones not included are from LEGO Duplo, which I actually do own some, but I'm just focused on LEGO system. There's 4 different base builds for Lightning McQueen. We have the 2026 Speed Champions version, the 2011 Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen, which is the biggest one yet, the 2017 Cars 3 Lightning McQueen, which uses a juniorized base, where we just have like one whole piece for the chassis, and the 2011 Cars 2 builds, which are in the same scale as the Cars 3 builds, but uses a lot more pieces. I'll call these smaller ones the minifigure scale ones, and for the minifigure scale Lightning McQueens, there's a total of 9 variants. 5 for the juniorized version, 4 for the other version. Let's start with the 2 larger scale Lightning McQueen designs. While the smaller scale designs have a 4 wide base, the new Speed Champions one has an 8 wide base, and then the Ultimate Build one has a 10 wide base. And the Ultimate Build one is the largest yet. The design of which retailed for $30 in the United States. That also include a Guido figure, which is the same size that they used in the minifigure scale sets. Regardless, the design of the Speed Champions one is releasing January 1st, 2026. It was sent to me early by LEGO, so thank you LEGO. And that will retail for $28. It's the first Speed Champion set with a detailed undercarriage, which is very interesting because we don't really get a look at that in the movies, kind of. It's also the first Lightning McQueen figure with a stickered windshield design. It's one case where I don't mind most of the stickers. I mean, in the movie, he's called stickers for a reason. You have stickered headlights, which, yeah, the Ultimate Lightning McQueen has stickered headlights as well. And this has the most accurate for just that side design. I love how they built up that lightning bolt design. And there are some printed pieces there. There's that piece, and that piece. This is a very impressive release, and I absolutely love the scaling that came out here. It looks about perfect in my opinion, and I called it a perfect set. Oh yeah, and the Lightning McQueen Speed Champions is the first version with a brick-built smile. There's also a brain hidden inside the vehicle. One thing I love in particular with the Speed Champions version is that it's the first time we're getting the Lightyear tires. That is something that's long overdue for any LEGO Lightning McQueen cars design. The design of Ultimate Build Lightning McQueen definitely looks blocky compared to any other Lightning McQueen. A lot of the design doesn't work. I mean, how they do the lightning bolt at the side where they have some light orange designs mixed with the red looks really ugly and jarring. The design having the 2 stickers for the 95 there looks incomplete compared with that coloring. The front windscreen design should be something that's good, but it's misaligned on my copy, where there's 2 different panels that have different eye designs and they're not lined up properly. It's even worse with the printed mouth design. I mean, look how that came out. It looks very awkward. This is based off the World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen design. So you have the World Grand Prix in all-in-all tagging at the back of this character. The undercarriage is ridiculous compared to the design of the detailed one in 2026. The set also has a very awkward gap in the windscreen design at the side. Then again, this was aimed towards ages 7 to 12, while the Speed Champions one was aimed towards ages 9 and up. Now let's move on to the minifigure cars released across 3 years, 2011, 2012, and 2017. There's one thing I have to note. There's technically alternate builds of the same exterior designs. For example, this is the one from the Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen set from 2011. This one's the one from Flo's V8 Cafe, and the only difference is that inside they use a different gray color plate. I will not be counting that for different variants of the character. We're just taking a look at the exterior prints and everything there to distinguish different variants of Lightning McQueen. So the first one of the 2011 LEGO Cars variants is Radiator Springs Lightning McQueen. This is his design when he got the quote-unquote makeover in Radiator Springs, the design of which having that 95 at the top inside a white circle that has a black outline. You can see that once again at the side. And then same with this side as well. I always loved the pieces that they used for the car's hoods right here, the minifigure scale ones, which is just this one large hood piece that you don't see too often. I know it was used in some poly bags outside of Lightning McQueen. But it's cool seeing like a bunch of variants for that, not only for Lightning McQueen, but different characters. And the same with this large hood right here, which has the printing unfortunately not even stickers for the headlights, which I would not usually say that's unfortunate, but I mean, technically in universe, it should be stickers there. But this makes sense because that would be really hard to align without, say, erasing the mouth or that Rusty's logo at the front. That's also a very lovely piece, which has a 1x2 plate on the top right there. And I also love how the Cars 3 sets from 2017, despite being junior sets, still kept the same base hood designs and the front design. This is something that gives it a consistency within systems between the two, and it's still the same scale. Anyways, we have the second Lightning McQueen, which was only found in one set, and that's the Mack team car set. This was a $40 set, and it's the most iconic version of Lightning McQueen, I'd say. You know, from the opening of the movie before he gets lost in Radiator Springs. You can see how there's those lightning bolts at the front. Very Owen Wilson mouth, I would say. Like you could hear him saying ka-chow right there. The eye design is also an exclusive hood arrangement as well. It's almost the same in terms of like quote unquote eyebrows, or I guess you could say eye outline as the one we just looked at, but you can see it's slightly different. Though we did get a remake of this in 2017 for that same eye design, but you can see how it improved a little bit with the white printing on the 2017 one. Regardless, I don't have too much else to point out here. We have a printed 1x4 that says Rusty's. I think this is the only set that comes in. And again, a different undercarriage than the 4+ sets. Then we have one of the World Grand Prix variants of Lightning McQueen. This is the one that's only used in 2011 across 3 different sets, which is the Big Ben Breakout set, the Lightning McQueen vs. Francesco set, and the, what is it called, Tokyo Grand Prix Circuit set. You can see that there's gold wheels this time around compared to the red wheels of the previous versions we just looked at. You have the repaint with a closer look to the design from the opening of Cars 1. Same with the hood as well. The eyes are also a design that he's like squinting, like in the mood of racing. There's no more Rusties. Instead, the hood says Hudson Hornet Piston Cup, and there's a face that has like a squiggly mouth design. And then at the back, you can see it says powered by All in All instead of Rusty's, which All in All is a huge topic of the second Cars movie. And you have that printed 1x4 that says World Grand Prix. This time it's not clipped on and it's just attached to the back there. And then there's one version of Lightning McQueen for 2012, because LEGO Cars had a rare occurrence of having a new movie get sets in 2011 outside of, say, Star Wars, Marvel, or DC, and then getting another wave in early 2012. I could think of very few other LEGO movies where this happened. You know, I guess you could say Indiana Jones, they kind of did this. The design here had an updated version of the World Grand Prix variant that we just looked at. This time, the spoiler at the back is on 2 black studs. And instead of having powered by All in All, we have Ka-chow Francesco, which is a really fun 1x4 tile print. Other than that though, the top of the roof is the same design that we just looked at. Also the same eye design. So that's just one whole roof piece. However, if you look closely, the front hood design actually has a different print where we have lighter front lights and also different mouth expression where he's smiling. So I always found that pretty interesting. There's also no gold wheels this time, it's just red wheels. Same side 2x4 tile prints. I like when they have one extra wave of sets not really tied into a specific movie release. So that's it for all of those Cars 2 releases, or you could just say 2011 to 2012 releases. Now let's take a look at the juniors ones. The first of which is a remake of that classic Lightning McQueen design from the first movie's opening, which you could compare to the one found in the Mack set. And you can see how they have very similar printings, but are also slightly different in that 2017 update. This came in the Speed Training set, I believe it's called, from Cars 3 4 Plus. The design of which has a hood at the front, which you can see has a little smirk going on there. And then also a very similar eye design to some of the past versions, but instead we have the quote-unquote eyebrow, just positioned a little bit differently. The roof piece, very similar, but the 95 is a little bit different compared to the original version. And the 2017 Cars 3 sets use one piece for the spoiler, which I believe that's when that piece was first introduced. And it is this modified 1x2 that you still see used to this day. I know like recently it was just used with the 2026 DeLorean set for the under part of the front bumper. Since 4 Plus sets rarely ever use studs, there's no studs for the tail lights. And again, there's a very basic undercarriage because this just uses one piece to fit that undercarriage. So you do attach those wheels to that piece, which this one has red wheels. Also just comparing that to the 2017 version for that side, or sorry, 2011 version for that side 2x4. This really interesting sand blue Lightning McQueen is from the Cars 3 Willy's Butte set, which I believe was like around $20. I really like that sand blue coloring. Though I don't believe this appears in the movie on Lightning McQueen. You can see other people use it in the Rusty's training center in the movie though, with the sand blue quote suits. See the little smirk at the front and a very less printed design with nothing at the front for advertisements or anything like that. Side's pretty dang basic too, with the 95 on the 2x4 on both sides. Red wheels. Spoiler at the back, nice sand blue design, and a red undercarriage. Then we have the makeover for Cars 3, which is from Smokey's Garage, which I believe was a $30 4 Plus set. The design here having a really nice gold trim to a lot of the things that you'd find on the vehicle design. We have a Rusty's logo on the spoiler at the back, which looks great. You have that on the hood as well, which is awesome. Like the gold shine there. Open mouth look, a little bit close to the one from the Mack set in 2011. You have 95 at the side with a tribute to that original look, but a gold lightning bolt. 95 at the top, and like I said, on this side, same 2x4. So yeah, this is a really cool design. It's one of my favorites for the Lightning McQueen designs. Oops, I just looked it up. In Smokey's Garage was actually a $20 set. Pretty good since it has 3 different cars in it. And that makeover version has a dirtied up version, which gives me vibes of how there was like dirtied variants of the toys in the Toy Story 3 sets from 2010. This is from the Crazy 8 race set, which I believe was $35. And the mud on there makes the 95 into a 15. You can see how the lovely gold is kind of cut off by that mud. Very intricate printing for the time. But I mean, geez, the 4 Plus sets in general just had great printing for characters, even like with the Incredibles 2 sets. You can see some mud at the top as well. And same with the spoiler with that Rusty's being covered up. That's pretty awesome. And you do get a worried look from Lightning McQueen. Get another 2x4 at the side. And yeah, based chassis piece right there. I said base, I meant base. And then LEGO kind of did another late release again with this final Lightning McQueen. People considered this a spoiler, and LEGO ended up releasing the set. It came in August 2017, while the rest of the sets came out in spring 2017. This is the fabulous Lightning McQueen based off of the fabulous Hudson Hornet. You got the same color going on there. You have 51 instead of 95. This was in the Mack Truck 4 Plus set, which was also the only set to have Jackson Storm. It's the Florida 500 race. I like that they kind of held off on releasing that because it did have spoilers, and you think of something like Toy Story 3 where they just spoil the climax in a set that came out before the movie. Regardless, I like seeing all those 51s at the top. The blue design is jarring for Lightning McQueen, but also pretty cool in that way, where it's like just like something you would not expect for the character. But then again, we did get that sand blue variant. 2x4 with fabulous Lightning McQueen looks great. And there's nothing present on the spoiler. I mean, you could technically say the set is a spoiler. And you have a blue undercarriage this time around. So that's it for what I call the minifigure scale Lightning McQueen variants. Out of all of these variants, let me know which sizing is your favorite. The ultimate build size, the speed champions, or the minifigure scale ones. I still love the minifigure scale ones where it's the format that they've given us so many variants for, but they really did an amazing job with the speed champions Lightning McQueen. It's our most detailed yet. The worst is easily the ultimate build version, though it still has some charm here or there. Subscribe here for more LEGO Cars videos, because dang, am I in a LEGO Cars mood after that Speed Champion set arrived. Thank you again, LEGO, and I'll see you later. Seriously, you liking, commenting, and subscribing means so much to me, and it helps out the channel with this rough algorithm. Peace out. Bye.